Just report the facts.
Want to take a picture?
We won. They lost.
Carton Roberts on SNY and WFAN is presented by Grubhub.
That's where I'm going. Rangers versus Kraken in the Stanley Cup Finals. I'll tell you what, if it happens, we're going.
Okay.
On the road, too.
Okay.
And this is Carton Roberts live from Seattle. Isn't that where they are?
Yes.
We're here for the big Kraken game. Oh, yeah. Rangers, I'll tell you, the Rangers are in. I don't know if the Kraken are going to make it year one.
Will we go to Seattle for an Islander Kraken Cup final?
No.
Why?
The
Nobody
Kraken
cares
cares about hockey.
Right.
No,
I'll
we won't.
take a milk bath in Seattle during that Stanley Cup final.
But I did hook you up.
Hooked me up with what?
With Islander tickets.
What?
That's right.
Did you really?
I am taking you. We'll pick a game. Locked in. It's already been just done. I got it confirmed and all that. You and I are sitting with my niece, Dylan, at an upcoming Islander game in a luxury suite.
Wow. Is that going to be your first hockey game ever?
That'll be my... No, I've been to a number of hockey games.
Have you?
Yeah. I like going to hockey games.
Yeah.
I do. They're fun. Always fun. Hockey games are fun.
No,
to
I
be
love
at.
going to hockey games. I'm with him.
I like going to hockey
It's funny, the one sport I don't like going to games to is the NFL. I love to be at home. I like
it's
to
so
have
good
it
on TV.
It's the one sport that's just better on TV.
No, I agree with you 100%. Football is like the best sport on TV. Hockey is, I think, the best sport in person. And I love NBA basketball no matter where you give it to me. So I'm partial to that. But I will say, I like going to hockey games.
So does this mean I really should take you to opening night, Knicks?
Take me to opening night next?
Yeah, because, I mean...
Next week?
Yeah, because it's not a luxury suite. It's upstairs, and I know you don't love that stuff.
Yeah.
So
I promised my sons I'd watch the opener with them.
All right, so you're out. All right, I'll find someone else.
We also got that day we're getting off the air at 6 because I want to be home in time for the tip.
Are you serious?
Well, listen, the game starts at 7:05.
Wait a second. It starts at 7:30.
Oh, is it 7:30?
Number two,
All right.
you just pinned it on me, rightfully so, by the way.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
All
That
right.
if this show ever moved to where we got off at 6, it's on
your
me.
fault.
And then you proceed to say, hey, by the way, next week, Knicks opening night.
Well, hold on.
Off at 6.
If the tip's 7:30, then I'll do 6:30.
The tip is at 7:30.
All right, so then we'll work till 6:30.
That's kind of sweet.
All right? So
know what?
if someone else can do 6:30 to 7, and I'll get home in time for the Knick game.
Do you want me to give you my Knick tickets to take your son?
Well, the problem is I have 2 boys at home,
you're
and I can't pick favorites.
Sorry, I only have 2.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't. I appreciate that.
If you
That's
had to
very
pick a
kind.
favorite, which son is your favorite that you
I
picked?
don't have favorites. No, I don't believe there is such a thing.
I'm kidding.
I don't know. Although Big Mac has a favorite.
You pin it on him.
He did. He told me his little guy's his favorite. I don't know.
Stop it.
That's what he told
Do
me.
you
when he-
want C-Mac's wife to really just
What's the
hate
little
you?
guy's name?
Andrew.
He told me Andrew's his favorite.
What's the name of his oldest kid?
Bob, Robert, Joseph, Anthony, Steve, Brian,
Going on a year.
Thomas,
There you go.
Michael.
There it is.
Tommy?
Yeah.
Calls him Tommy, though.
Well, that's a Lugar thing. He hates Tommy. So he loves his son, Thomas, but he likes Andrew a little bit more.
No. I'm not even going to go there because Evan
kidding.
nailed it. I'm going to get in trouble for that.
Exactly, I know.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Here, real quick, Neil is in Carteret. Neil, what's going on?
Yeah, God, I'm sorry, man. I got a problem, man, with you getting on Joe Judge's case.
Why?
Getting public on Tony. But I mean, Galladay can do it to the coaches. You know, screaming at the coach and maybe possibly Jones. You know, all these players think they can say and do what they want, but when Judge does it, come on, you got to give him the pass on that.
Why?
Because some of these players need to be told.
So I
I
want to make sure that we hear each other right, because you're breaking up a teeny bit, Neil. So my point was, I didn't like the fact that Joe Judge really embarrassed Kadarius Toney and MF'd him on his way off the field into the locker room after throwing the punch that he should not have thrown. You're good with him doing it because you think that's what a coach should do. Do I have that right?
Well, it's just as a Giants fan, I'm tired of seeing what the players can say and do and get away with it.
Right.
This is one time when a coach can say, hey,
Yeah.
you know, get in line here, pal. And it wasn't going to hurt us anyway.
Listen, this is one of those things where, and I have to let you go because your phone line just doesn't sound great, and I apologize for that. I got no problem with you feeling that way. This isn't one of these like I'm right, you're wrong, or you're right, I'm wrong.
You did tell me I was wrong yesterday when I defended.
And I apologize. I may have said shut up as well. That was. I went home thinking I really felt bad about that.
You got so into that. I've never seen you so passionate about an argument.
You frustrated me yesterday.
How did I frustrate you?
I don't want to get into it again, Evan.
By the way, in fairness, during that little discussion Craig and I had, Craig made a point that a lot of times I go home, I reconsider things, and I come back and say, I gave it more thought. You're right.
Yeah.
I did. I gave it a lot of thought.
I know where this is going.
And I feel as emboldened as ever that what Joe Judge did was right.
That's
and
fine.
that you are not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're misguided.
Listen, this is one of those weird conversations where it's not like black and white. It's not right or wrong.
Right.
We have different opinions. Neither one is more right or less wrong than the other one. I just happen to be typically in the right, but not on this particular issue. But whatever.
That's
the big
fine.
story today, of course, if you're just tuning in, Kyrie Irving has been basically banished by the Brooklyn Net franchise. They will not let him practice. He's allowed to now at home. They will not let him play road games. He's allowed to. And, of course, he can't play home games anyway. So we have now come to that proverbial kind of fork in the road, that crossroad position, which is if Kyrie Irving wants to play basketball with the current COVID rules in place in New York, he will have to get vaccinated. If he chooses not to get vaccinated, which is his right, the Brooklyn Nets have said to him, as an organization which includes the voices of Harden and Durant, in addition to Sean Marks, the general manager, and Joe Tsai, the owner, we don't want you around. Meaning Kyrie could, if he chooses to, sit at home. He'd collect about $18 million, and then at the end of the year opt out of his contract and be an unrestricted free agent. That happened today.
Now, here's my question. Is Kyrie Irving ever going to say anything about this?
Well, that's a good question.
Because when he met the media at Media Day via Zoom, he never talked about the vaccine. He said
it's personal.
Personal. A lot of guys did. Andrew Wiggins talked about it. Bradley Beal talked about it. Jonathan Isaac talked about it. A lot of guys did. Kyrie has said nothing. Kyrie tweeted 3 days ago, I'm protected by God, and so are my people. We stand together. May not even be related to this. Is Kyrie Irving ever going to respond to this?
I don't know. I mean, he didn't talk about it, I think, at the park thing you went to the other day, right?
Yeah, no, he didn't say anything. And he was great with the fans, by the way. He took a jersey off of him, signed it, gave it to a kid.
And
like Kyrie Irving does a lot of nice things.
And I believe, based on the video I saw, he also had a mask on the whole time, right?
He was the only net player with a mask on, so obviously followed the protocols.
Yep.
And again, Kyrie seemed like him and KD were having a great time. He was having a fun time. But at this point now, yeah, I think the next part of this story is what does Durant and Harden say publicly? I'm fascinated by that. And then does Kyrie ever say anything?
Yeah.
Because Sean Marks was asked directly, and this was one of the questions I was screaming at the Zoom, even though there's no way for them to hear me. So it's just poor Big Mac hearing me say it. I'm screaming, when you told Kyrie, what did he say? And what I got out of the press conference is Sean Marks never talked to Kyrie Irving. He talked to his people,
right?
But he
as an
never
agent,
spoke
right?
to Kyrie and said when Kyrie wants to talk, he'll give he'll answer it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Craig, if we're ever going to hear from him. I don't know.
I mean, at some point you got to figure he'll talk or he'll do something on his own social media page.
Maybe
or
he goes Instagram Live and then, okay, he does talk. What does he say?
I don't know.
Does he
he's
kill
gonna,
the Nets?
No,
Does
I don't
he-
think so. I think his rhetoric's going to stay the same, and that's his religious belief, and God's got his back, and he's not going to discuss the whys of why he won't get the vaccine. It's his right not to get it. And he may be disappointed but respects where the Nets are out on it. He wishes his brothers in arms well, hopes to go out and win games, and looks forward to the day when he can rejoin the team.
I wonder if Kyrie's going to live tweet games giving his thoughts on everything that's going on. Would he do something like that?
By the way, that would be fascinating.
That would be amazing.
Matter of fact, I told Spike today that we should reach out to Kyrie and offer him a job.
Of course.
Right?
I agree. I'd love to hear from him.
We'd put him on the air in a minute.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it'd be Carton Roberts and Kyrie.
Yeah, no, you know what? He gets his name ahead of me. Carton, Kyrie, and Roberts.
Why would
I'll
you say
even go last.
Carton and Kyrie?
So now you want to get rid of me for Kyrie?
Oh, no, you could be here, but just...
Just my name's not on the show.
Carton and Kyrie. I like that. No?
Yeah, I'm all right with it. Am I still getting paid the same?
You still get paid. You like Kyrie. By the way, we're on SNY What's Up TV, courtesy of Grubhub. You know the dealio with that. We love Grubhub and love being on TV. Here is Brian and Sea Caucus on the Fan. Yo, Brian, what's up?
What's up, boys?
All good, baby.
I have the answer for you.
All he has to do, Kyrie, is go online for 20 minutes and become a reverend or a preacher and religious exemption.
Yeah, but that's too transparent. It can't happen.
I don't think it's going to happen because early in this process, there was a report. I think it may have been his aunt who was talking to Vanity Fair. I think she even said he's not going that way. Like, I don't think that there...
No cop-out.
Yeah, I don't think Kyrie's applying. And I was wrong about this because I predicted this to you months ago. I said, he'll play. They'll find some exemption for him. Religious, medical. That's not happening. Like, this is a showdown. And to me, and I'm just guessing, but based on the facts at hand, I see no way Kyrie Irving gets vaccinated.
Do you think
it's not happening?
This is a major long shot, and it's probably a terrible comparison, but I don't know. Hit my brain, so I'll throw it out there, right? Do you think in any way, shape, or form, Kyrie views himself kind of as his generation's Muhammad Ali?
Oh, yeah.
Making a stand on behalf of, maybe disenfranchised African Americans.
That's why he's not getting vaccinated. I think he looks at this right or wrong as he is the voice of the voiceless in many ways. Well, and that's why he's not getting vaccinated.
That's a very powerful thing if that's what he feels.
And that is why I don't think there's for any Net fan out there who continues to think, oh, don't worry. He's going to get vaccinated. Maybe before opening day. Maybe before the playoffs. It's not happening. Yeah. And again, if I'm wrong, call me out on it. From what I know about Kyrie, from what I've read about Kyrie, and look, a lot of it may not even be true. I just don't get the sense he's giving into this. So he'll play basketball again when he's traded, which I guess is a possibility. I just don't think there's a big market for him. Or two, the rules in New York City change.
Yeah, and I don't know when that's happening.
I don't know if that's
calendar
happening.
year, that's for sure.
I don't know if that's happening. Now, look, there's going to be a new mayor. That mayor, who in all likelihood will be the mayor, is the borough president of Brooklyn. Does he have a different view on this? I have no idea.
That would be suicide, though. You can't do that. I know what you're alluding to.
No,
I'm not. Eric Adams become mayor and then do a solid so that Kyrie could play shot.
I'm not alluding to that. What I'm alluding to is at some point do the mandates on the city go away? Not specifically a favor for Kyrie, which would affect a lot of people listening to us right now. Like, I'm not convinced, that I could be wrong, that these mandates are forever. I'm not convinced of that.
I'd like to hope they're not forever, but I think they're for now.
And how long for now is, I don't know.
I think we have to wrap our heads around certainly the rest of this calendar year, which is not that much to go, like 2.5 months left. And then, you hope when you get into spring of next year, people back outdoors again, that kind of thing. Maybe the numbers are back down. Who knows? But I think you better wrap your head around, I think you already have, the idea that you're not going to see him play this year.
I don't think Kyrie Irving is playing for the Nets ever again.
Yeah. Well,
I just don't, because I don't think of him as someone that's going to give in on this.
And what's weird? I can't even say we'll take him.
Well, he can't play for your team
play for us either.
It doesn't fix things.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Would you trade him for Kemba?
No.
All right, just checking.
No, and look, and by the way, that whole would you trade question, it's a weird one because there's been times in which, there's a lot of guys I wouldn't trade Kyrie for. Kyrie's a brilliant basketball player. You've acknowledged that. We know how good he is. But there comes a point where if you don't think he can play for your team, you're going to trade him for something that's less than his equal value because why not? He's not going to play for your team anyway.
Let me ask this. If I said to you on Friday, which of these will happen first? Jon Gruden's done coaching the Raiders or Kyrie doesn't play for the Nets?
I didn't think Kyrie was playing for the Nets. This does not surprise me.
You think Jon Gruden will coach again before Kyrie plays?
I'm sorry. I'm confused by the question. What's your question?
Did I not answer that? Maybe I asked that in a bad manner.
Yeah.
If I said to you on Friday, which one of these is more likely to happen? Kyrie plays for the Nets. Jon Gruden is done coaching in the NFL.
Gruden is done coaching in the NFL.
Yeah. You would have said that on Friday?
Both of them. I said Gruden was done.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness,
you
on
got
Friday,
lucky on that one. He's not only a racist, he's also a homophobe and a misogynistic pig.
Dude,
Who saw that coming?
I totally admit that.
Yeah.
My prediction was sort of off. I thought, hey, silly me. I guess I'm crazy. I thought being a racist was enough to lose your job.
Apparently
what
not.
I learned is no, that wasn't enough. He still coached Sunday. You needed more for him to lose his job.
You're right. And he hit the big three.
Yeah.
It's like the inside of it's like the cycle. Except it's
I think Adam Schefter called it the clean sweep.
Yeah.
That's what he called it.
Well, I wonder if Jon Gruden emailed Adam Schefter over the last 10 years.
Maybe.
Probably did at some point, right?
Yeah.
And then that's the problem with this story now. Now that you've released some emails, now our thirst is for we're like vampires.
Want more.
Well, we got a little blood. Well, now we want more blood. So All right, we've got, what I said, 7 emails, whatever it is. 7 emails have come to light. We know there's dozens more because there has to be, right? So now everyone's going to want to know, all right, how long was Jon Gruden employed at ESPN? Close to a decade, something like that?
Was it that long, by the way? How many years was he at ESPN?
At least 5.
Yeah, my guess was 6, but I could be wrong.
When he left ESPN, he was their highest paid on-air personality, right? That's now Stephen A. Smith has that honor, $12 million, right? So the question now is this. Are we now going to go back and look at every email Jon Gruden ever sent to every ESPN employee? Right?
Yeah.
We want more blood, don't we? Because that's the direction it's going.
And you know there are other emails, I'm sure.
Of course. But now, like, I use Adam Schefter because he broke the story on TV yesterday. Does Adam Schefter now have to reveal his email correspondence with Jon Gruden over the course of the last decade?
I don't think anybody has to
He shouldn't have to, by sure.
I don't think he has to reveal.
Okay, let me ask this question. Do you think they all go back? I shouldn't use Adam because he's done nothing wrong. Do you think if you're an ESPN employee, because I know my answer to this question.
What's up?
Do you go into your little search component, type in Gruden.
Just to see what he's emailed you.
And just go back and see any and all correspondence you had with Jon Gruden?
Well, 2 things.
Because I would.
100% yes.
Damn right.
But the second part is deleting it doesn't do anything. Like, those emails exist. It's not as if you can find a bad email and say, oh, my God, I responded with LOL. I have to delete this. You can't.
Oh, you can't delete it.
It's still on the server. Like, ESPN will still have it.
You better at least find out so when you're the next person they call, because they're going on a witch hunt. Someone is.
No, but do you really think that every negative email or every offensive email or every, dare I say, homophobic or racist email, do you believe every single one of them will be leaked out? I don't.
Everyone, no.
Yeah.
But here's what I think is happening. The 600,000 or so emails that were relevant to the Washington case, they're all coming out.
Well, yeah, because the Players Association want to hear it. I agree with them. And I think even fans are going to start to say, hey, what happened with that Washington investigation?
That's right.
You've got a lot of smoking guns, probably. We'd like to know. And the NFL has shown you over the years they're very secretive. And I want to make this clear. This is not as big of a deal on a lot of levels. The Spygate thing. They were not open and honest about what they found in Spygate. They weren't.
Right.
And that's a part of why the NFL has trust issues with a lot of their fans.
I'm glad you brought up Spygate. Now you know why Tom Brady broke his cell phone.
Why? What did he have?
Right. Exactly.
That was Deflategate, though, by the way.
Whatever.
Wasn't that what it was?
it was Deflategate.
It was the Deflategate one.
Whatever.
But still, I get what you're saying.
You know why he destroyed his cell phone? Because there's stuff on it.
Well, and there may have been stuff on it.
You know what? I go through these every week. My bad. I didn't mean for it to break right before you came to get it. Sorry, I have a brand new one.
And in fairness to Tom, he doesn't, it's not that he has anything that's objectionable.
How do we know?
He may just have stuff that would get a lot of news.
Yeah, of course it would. Right. Like Giselle sending him naked photos.
Right. And all of a sudden,
and
that's
him sharing them with his friends.
Right.
Right? Like, I'm telling you, if I worked at ESPN, I would have already done my email search. You have to.
But what does that do?
Just so you can prepare yourself.
Oh, okay. So you know, hey, if this ever leaks out.
Anybody.
No, I know, but it's not as if you can get rid of it. That's my only point.
No, you don't have to get rid of it. You're doing it to prepare yourself for when they come knocking and they go, you worked with Gruden. We're going to check your emails. You already know what's going on.
You think ESPN's going to do that? They're going to go through every single employee and say, let me see how they responded to Jon Gruden the last 9 years. By the way, it was 9 years he was there.
Yeah, so
he was hired in 2009 and left to coach in 2018.
All right, so he's there for a decade.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're ESPN, here's the weird thing. You're riding this fence, which they always do. They have to, where you are trying to claim you have some level of journalistic integrity. It's a major story. You're a sports news network, in theory. You cover this as a news story, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to maintain objective, independent sports journalism integrity, but you also have people that are on your team that may be a part of the situation. So in a weird way, doesn't human resources there, just to get their ducks in a row, kind of have to take a peek?
Yeah.
Even if it's private, like if... I don't know who runs human resources here, he or she, but if I were them, I'd come in on Saturday. There ain't nobody else here. I get a big cup of frozen brew from Dunkin' Donuts with 5 pumps of caramel
and a lot of pumpkin in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sit back and I go, Gruden, search.
Just to see
And
everything
then
you
I
find.
just start reading. Just so I know.
And then it comes down to something we talked about earlier, and that's if you responded to a homophobic or sexist or racist email by saying ha-ha or something of that nature.
You're fired.
Are you fired?
Maybe.
I don't know
Might
the
be.
answer to it. I'm asking you. Are you fired?
When do you think, the next time Jon Gruden does an actual sit-down interview, and with whom?
I don't think he will.
Can't be ESPN now, right?
I think he's going away for a very long time. I
think so?
I think that's the advice he's going to get. Lay low, lay low, lay low.
Disappear.
And then I think he could get, remember Tom Brenneman?
Sure, yeah.
Tom Brenneman got in trouble because he was caught on a hot mic saying homophobic things.
During a home run call.
No,
No, the apology. The apology.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. There she goes.
Right.
My bad,
Nicholas Castellanos, poor guy. I feel bad for him.
Earlier tonight, I was calling out Mike, saying that disgusting, obnoxious, deep fly ball to left. I just wanted to make sure that you know that I'm deeply sorry as my comments offended. I think she's gone.
Right.
And I take back everything I said. And I always love this one. If I hurt anyone.
Right, of course.
If anyone was hurt by my disgusting comments, oh, there she goes. I'm so sorry.
So Tom Brenneman has gotten work recently. Do you know what he's done?
Tom Brenneman, I do know what he's done.
Go ahead.
Is it the Mexican Baseball League?
He may, that I'm not aware of. I know that he's been calling high school football games
Is that
and
right?
has hosted a podcast. And he's also done an interview in which he says, the fans want me back. The fans really
Well, he
want
said
me.
wherever he goes, when he goes to the supermarket, everyone that sees him goes,
Yeah.
we need your back, Brenneman.
Right, as if that says that's what the most people want. What do you think people are going to say to you when they see you?
Right.
As a drive-by Castellanos. Maybe that's what they say.
I thought he was doing a Mexican Baseball League.
Are you thinking about Mickey Callaway's managing
No,
job?
I know that too. I know. I thought Brenneman signed up to do.
No, you may be right. I just know that he's been calling high school games, doing a podcast, but he hasn't got another job yet. And I think that Jon Gruden's going to have to follow the trend of
Well, here's
lay
the difference,
low.
though. Jon Gruden made a lot more money than Tom Brenneman.
Right, he doesn't have to work if that's your
Jon
point. Yeah.
Gruden, I don't care other people's money, but unless he squandered it, Jon Gruden should be financially set for life.
But he loves football. So you know what job he'd get? In fact, I have an answer. Do we think of Jon Gruden as a broadcaster or a coach? He's a coach.
Okay.
A college will give him a job.
No
there
way.
will be a university.
You can't hire a guy who's on record
wait.
being.
Give it 3 years.
Well,
there
the
will be
Urban
a
Meyer
u-
worked a lot. You're right.
There'll be a university. I'm not saying it's going to be a high-profile one. I'm not telling you
Like
USC's
an
hiring
FIU
him.
or FAU, whatever.
Somebody will hire him, yes. That would be my guess. High school, that's easy. But I think eventually there will be a college program. Maybe it's a Division II college program. I don't know. Who said, wow, we have a chance to hire Jon
By the
Gruden.
way, if I'm Jon Gruden, I'd do something completely different.
What?
To me, it's a no-brainer. You lay low, lay low, lay low, lay low, lay low. Maybe even a full year. Maybe you come back 2 football seasons from now. And you know what he does?
Carton and Gruden on the Fan.
No.
That's Kyrie's job.
No, I got Kyrie coming in.
Right.
Not.
So what do you do that's different?
Go right to one of the sports wagering sites.
Oh, do something with that.
Jon Gruden, new content, giving picks. That's $1 million.
Would Barstool hire Jon Gruden tomorrow?
I don't know. As much as people think of Barstool, in certain terms based on a lot of their content, I don't think they would hire him currently.
No, I agree. But I think at some point they would. I think at
2
some
years
point
from
there
now-
are companies that would hire him. Yeah.
2 years from now, I can see them. Hey, listen, he's went to therapy, he went to management, this and that.
Right.
There's no better football voice that we know. He's an expert, and he's going to help make picks. Something like that. Yeah, it wouldn't shock
But
me.
I think he would, if he wants to coach, it depends what he wants to do. He can go away, never work again, to your point. But if he wants to coach again, a college program.
I don't think he's ever coaching again, dude.
Because
I
of
don't.
choice or because no one would hire him?
I think maybe both. Maybe both.
Dude, a program would hire him.
I don't think, not
Really?
anytime soon.
I didn't say next
5
week.
years from now?
I'd say 2 years from now.
I don't think so.
You don't think
Right.
there would be
You
a
know what?
college program?
We live in a different era, Evan. There's some things you can come back from. He'll get other opportunities to do something. But I also think...
But I'm not saying he's going to coach in the SEC
No,
or the
I
Big
hear you.
Ten.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, listen, Rick Pitino got jobs, right?
I was thinking of Rick Pitino. I mean, he got a job. I know it's all different when you're comparing what someone
what
did.
Rick Pitino did was worse in a lot of people's minds, mine included.
Yeah. And he
Right?
got a job.
Yeah. People fought over him.
So doesn't that kind of prove that at some
I don't
point,
know.
if he wants it, that's the key, man. I want it.
I don't know.
He would get a job.
I also think money's got a big part to do with it. Like I told you, if I ever get to X amount of dollars in the bank, peace out.
Just
That's
shows
it.
you don't love what you do. That
Peace
makes me
out.
sad.
Peace out.
That makes me kind of sad.
No, come in. I'll do like commentary once a week for you.
Craig, no
Peace
matter
out.
how much money I had in the bank, I love what I do.
Well,
I would still do it.
Well, that's your ego.
It's not ego.
You like to
I
hear
don't.
yourself talk.
No,
I don't.
it has nothing to do with that. It's I love the job.
No.
I love coming in.
And what's the job?
and
You talking.
No, talking to fans, talking about sports, talking to you, making fun of Lugauer.
Is that right? Then why did you
Yes.
leave your show early on Saturday?
Well, that's because I was doing something else with my family.
Oh, interesting.
And thank you again to Danielle McCartan. She worked an extra hour, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
She did.
She wasn't doing you a favor.
Yes,
It's good
she-
for her career to do.
Well, but still, she did it, and I
Was she
appreciate
going
it.
to say no?
She could have.
You can't say no when you're part-time. You got to say yes.
C-Mac would say no to an extra hour.
Wow, he's special.
If I asked C-Mac, hey, I want to leave early because I'm doing something with my family on Saturday. I still want to be on the air. Love doing the show. Do you mind working an extra hour? He would have said, no, I'm already on.
No, he
for
wanted to
it."
make sure he's getting paid for it.
Right, absolutely right.
He's not a
Oh,
charity
so you need to get paid extras.
Yeah, I'm on 7:30 tonight, by the way. If you
How about that? Look
Who's
at
on
that.
at Who's on at 7?
The gambling show.
Filipponi.
Filipponi.
Where's he do that show from?
Pittsburgh?
Oh, he's in Pittsburgh?
Doesn't he work in Pittsburgh?
Got it. There you go. All right.
Yeah, so C-Mac's on at 7:30.
I
And
would
then
do you a
he's-
favor, Evan. Don't
Would you
worry.
really?
Yeah, I expect something in return down the road.
Of course.
Even if it's just wings or something.
Of course.
How about this?
Oh, here we go. What are you going to offer me now, King Carton? What do we got?
I'll let you do another afternoon show by yourself or with anyone of your choosing, and you give me the lawnmower. So you're getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
So in theory, I'm paying you for the lawnmower, but I'm using the company to do it.
Yeah, that's so.
So awesome of me to offer you that.
I
is
don't
it
want
not?
to. I don't want to. I want to earn it. I don't want to be like, oh, I
Look
got it
at
because I have a lawnmower.
That's an answer. And by the way, if you take my offer, we'll go to opening night next week. Me and you together again.
877-337-6666.
Sure.
More on Kyrie, more on Jon Gruden, and what is next to happen? We actually have an answer for that question. I'll give you that answer right after this. New York.
Carton Roberts is presented by Grubhub. Grubhub guarantees your food will get to you on time within the delivery window and for the lowest price compared to other apps, or you'll get at least $5 in perks. Grubhub works hard to serve restaurants.
Getting your favorite restaurants delivered to your door just got better. Introducing the Grubhub Guarantee. It's our promise to deliver the food you love on time and give you the lowest price. Or you'll get $5 off your next order. Experience your food just like the restaurant intended. That's the Grubhub Guarantee.
Dear experts, to you, I'm the best-selling compact SUV in America, with all-wheel drive and tons of room. To our drivers, I'm unbeatable value. Let's go places. RAV4.
Right now, you can get 1.9% APR financing on a new 2021 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Caleb Gardner tweeted, "Can someone please explain Untuck It to me? I just don't understand the positioning. Shirts designed to be worn untucked have existed for a long, long time. Mr. Gardner, respectfully, there's a difference between a shirt that can be worn untucked and a shirt designed to be worn untucked. You could use a leaf blower as a hairdryer.
You can use a shoe as a pillow. But wouldn't you rather have something designed specifically for what you need it for?
Find your shirt today at untuckit.com.
Easy is in. Right now, take an easy 50% off at Blinds to Go when you motorize any window treatment and get a free cordless upgrade on any product. Easy. It's the free and easy sale only at Blinds to Go. We make it easy.
October 14th to the 17th, join your favorite culinary stars at the 14th Annual Food Network and Cooking Channel New York City Wine and Food Festival.
It's going to be fantastic.
Take part in cooking demonstrations, tastings, dinner events, and more.
The fans really enjoy the festival.
This is your chance to sip, savor, and celebrate the New York City restaurant community. Proceeds benefit New Yorkers in need with God's Love We Deliver and the Food Bank for New York City. Tickets on sale now at nycwff.org.
Easy is in. Right now, take an easy 50% off at Blinds to Go when you motorize any window treatment and get a free cordless upgrade on any product. Easy. It's the free and easy sale only at Blinds to Go. We make it easy.
Latest baseball chatter.
You need to invest in free agents if you want to win quickly.
With the only opinions.
Don't be stupid and let this guy go.
You need.
They need both those guys and more.
On Baseball Night in New York, presented by Cadillac. Tonight at 6, only on SNY.
I'm Maria Marino. Coming up on Geico Sports Night, we'll hear from the Jets for the final time before they enter their bye week. Plus, get you ready for the beginning of the Rangers season tomorrow. All that and more when we see you tonight.
Competition. I can't live like the opposition. Living everything I dreamed of. Doing everything you think of. The way I work, I'm on the brink of. Doing numbers like a brake truck.
I'm on new level.
There's got to be a better way. At Good to Go Insurance, you can get coverage with as little as $20 down, despite your driving record. Get an online quote for a low monthly payment in less than a minute. Save money by only paying for the coverage you need and get proof of insurance on the spot. Visit goodtogo.com and get coverage fast, cheap, and easy. That's goodtogo.com.
Look, cleaning the outside of your windows is a real chore. And who wants to climb a dangerous ladder just to get to the second floor? Not anymore. Hi, I'm John Florell, the Fuller Brush Man. And this is Full Crystal from the Fuller Brush Company. The fastest, easiest way to clean all of your windows in minutes, not days. Just add the cleaning crystals, attach it to any garden hose, and away you go. The secret is in the Fuller cleaning crystals that dissolve dust, dirt, pollen, and grime in no time. And here's the best part. You don't have to remove your screens because Full Crystal cleans them too. Watch what I'm gonna do. This screen may look clean, but look how Full Crystal blasts away the dust, pollen, dirt, and grime while it cleans your window at the same time. And that'll save you a ton of time. Look, even with the ladder, you couldn't reach that window. But with the Full Crystal Power Sprayer, you can clean windows up to 27 feet high. Simply aim, spray, and walk away, leaving your windows spot-free, streak-free, and with both feet securely on the ground. For a clean so clear, your windows will virtually disappear. Plus, it's completely safe for all of your plants, lawns, shrubs, and flowers. Call or go online now to order the complete Full Crystal system with enough cleaning crystals for up to 20 windows for the factory direct price of just $19.99. But order right now and we'll double the cleaning crystals. Enough for up to 40 windows, just pay a separate fee. Fuller cleaning crystals are made in the USA. And remember, it's from the Fuller Brush Company, so your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed. Call or go online to buyfullcrystal.com. That's buyfullcrystal.com. And ask about Full Exterior to easily clean dirt and grime from all around the exterior of your house in no time. Order now.
Did your job give you mesothelioma or lung cancer? If you had occupational asbestos exposure and now have mesothelioma or lung cancer, you may be entitled to claim some of the $30 billion in asbestos bankruptcy funds, even if you smoked. Call Whites and Luxembourg today. They are the New York law firm who's won the state's highest verdicts for your colleagues and neighbors in their asbestos cases.
Mesothelioma or lung cancer victims, call 800-299-5600. That's 800-299-5600.
Everyone loves a champion. Someone whose performance puts them head and shoulders above the rest. But not all champions wear a medal or hoist a trophy. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. We believe abuse can be prevented, by taking a hard look at how we coach, how we train, and how we interact after the last whistle. We have provided over 2 million safe sport trainings. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
Geico Sports Night on SNY.
What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to the show.
Your nightly source for all things New York sports.
We begin with the Jets.
And over to the Mets now.
The Knicks looking to make it 2 in a row. Wait until you see how they finish things off.
With continuous updates on the latest New York sports news.
We welcome in our Yankees insider.
Ian, thanks for joining us with the latest.
More on Dave Gettleman and the Giants.
Geico Sports Night. All night, every night, starting at 11 p.m. Only in SNY.
Get your New York sports here.
Join the team full-time, meaning get vaccinated while we have the current New York City vaccination rules. And, of course, if you were watching TV last night, you now are aware that Jon Gruden has been fired/resigned as head coach of the Vegas Raiders. As it turns out, there are now multiple emails, not just the original singular email in which he mocked the lip size. I don't even say that. It makes me icky. Of DeMaurice Smith, the NFL PA director. And now there's other emails in which he uses derogatory terms for homosexuals, takes shots at the commissioner and several other people. It also comes across as misogynistic and commenting on photos of the Washington cheerleaders from back in the day. Now, none of these take place during his tenure, as far as we know, this time around as head coach of the Raiders over the last 4 years, which is when he came back to the Raiders in a 10-year, $100 million deal, $10 million a year. He definitely signed some kind of settlement in which he can't badmouth the Raiders. They don't badmouth him. It's all kept hush-hush. He doesn't get the final $60 million, but he definitely got something, and in return for that, he tenders his resignation. There are a lot of these contracts that have for-cause firing clauses. And what I mean by that is break the law, they can fire you. DUI, they can fire you. A lot of things in there. There's morals clauses in all these contracts. However, a good portion or a number of these contracts also say that if something happened prior to your employment, your current employer does not have a causal reason to fire you. Now, if they fire you without cause, they got to pay you out. If they fire you for cause, you're done. They don't give you another nickel.
That's why there's somewhere in the middle. There's some kind of settlement in all likelihood.
Nobody wants to have being fired on their resume. So the trade-off here is I'm going to resign. Jon Gruden, he goes, he's going to resign his position as head coach. He promises he can't sue the Raiders. The Raiders will accept his resignation. And since he's walking away from $60 million on the remainder of his contract, I'm making this up.
What do you think he got?
20.
You think he got a third of it?
10 to 20, yeah.
That's not bad.
I do.
That's not bad for him.
Because that's why he resigned.
Right.
And that's it. And, the agreement's, private. It's a vault agreement that never gets shared publicly at the risk of damages, of course. And now the Raiders move on. And that's it. So Jon Gruden walks away with some money in his pocket, reputation forever tarnished, and disappears into the night for a while.
And now the Las Vegas Raiders are probably, I'd say, in disarray. I mean, you would think it's going to be difficult to overcome this. I know they've elevated a coach to head coach, their special teams coach. They didn't look particularly good on Sunday, but this does feel like something team-wise that will be very difficult to overcome.
Yeah, listen, if you want to look at it, from a football standpoint, yeah, they just came off their worst game of the year. What, they scored 9 points, I think it was, right?
Yep.
And now you got to figure there's some level of disarray. Not to mention Carr is hurt, so there's
not to also mention they're in probably pound for pound the best division in the NFL. That doesn't help either, by the way.
Who do they play this weekend?
They play the Denver Broncos in Denver.
Denver Broncos in Denver. All right, Broncos, like I told you, aren't that good. Came right back down to earth the last 2 weeks. But who knows? Who knows? Like, if you're a player on that team, can you just flip the switch and say, all right, I'm focused on football?
I mean,
I don't know.
It's tough to tell.
They are professionals,
It's
right?
also tough to tell how good they were initially. I mean, they did get off to a 3-0 start. They beat the Ravens week 1, but I was never fully convinced they were that good. The Raiders have sort of had a knack over the last few years of struggling in the second half of season. So if they do struggle and win 6 or 7 games, I don't know if we can necessarily pinpoint the coaching situation as the reason, and they may not have been that good to begin with.
Yeah, I never thought they were any good. I said the same thing.
Especially in the division they're in, because it looks like the Chargers are taking that step with how good Justin Herbert is, and the Chiefs are going to figure things out despite the bad start and how horrific their defense is. So it'll be tough to tell truly if it was the coaching or if they're just a mediocre team to begin with.
Now, we never got to a call during the last break that I wanted to get to, because I've heard a lot of this rhetoric out there, which is, how can the NFL... No, well, listen, the NFL didn't suspend him. He resigned / got fired by the Raiders. But how can the NFL claim that those comments bother them?
Right.
The misogynistic comments, the homophobic comments, and, of course, the racist comments. This is the rhetoric that's out there. I want to be clear. This comes from other people. That how can the NFL, on one hand, say they find it reprehensible and against NFL core values, et cetera, and then employ this particular year, but number of years, musical artists to perform at halftime of their biggest event of the year, the Super Bowl, who are known for a litany of lyrics that do the same exact thing. And... well, it's a much larger
topic. They don't do
topic.
the exact same things.
No, the lyrics do. The lyrics.
The lyrics?
Lyrics of any one of these guys that's rapping
yeah, but
at
one
halftime?
thing is music and art. The other is attacking individuals.
I'm not making the argument. All I'm saying is that rhetoric is out there.
That's a lame rhetoric.
I'm wondering if the NFL will respond to that. Because now it's loud.
I don't think they have to respond to that.
Well, it used to be just Mushnick writing about it, which he writes about it a lot. That how can the NFL claim that the Jon Gruden private emails in which he utters words that the public never hears and never should have seen or heard is objectionable to them, but the halftime show at the Super Bowl is not? It's an interesting take.
I don't think it's that interesting.
No?
I mean, do you want me to respond to that?
Well, if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's completely different.
How?
Because one is Jon Gruden saying certain things about specific people.
Privately.
Privately,
I'm going to play
sure.
devil's advocate. I want to be clear. I'm going to argue with them just to play devil's advocate.
And I think the other, while you may be offended by the words used, is just music. Like, it's art. That's all it is. If you're offended by it, by the way, you have a right to be.
Sure.
Don't listen to it. Like, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with somebody saying, hey, I don't want my kids listening to that. Totally understand
Devil's advocate. No problem with the halftime show at the Super Bowl referring to women as bitches and hoes, but I do have a problem with the head coach in the NFL ogling a topless cheerleader.
Well, I didn't fire him for that, did I?
You get the point. That's the rhetoric that's out.
No, I think the rhetoric sometimes is about trying to excuse things and looking for what about this, what about that. I mean, everything is different. So I think you have to attack things individually and talk about that specific thing. Like, everything can't just be compared to something else and say, what about this? What about that? To try to excuse behavior. So I'm not saying there aren't people saying that. I don't fully understand it. I don't agree with it.
Do you think the NFL is hypocritical at all?
I think the NFL is incredibly hypocritical.
Right.
Maybe not about this, but yes, the NFL is hypocritical.
All right, just put it out because that's the call I didn't get to. And I apologize to Anthony. He was hanging on. I didn't get to it.
What do you think, though?
Do
you see where I'm coming from?
I think they're apples and oranges.
Yeah, okay.
I think that there is artistic, there's an allowability for artistic impression, much like an actor playing a racist isn't a racist.
Right.
So a musician performing, that's the character they've created. That's their art, as you say. It's just, there are times where leagues wrap their arms around and hug performers and artists whose material is patently offensive if taken just on flat out black, ink on a white piece of paper.
I guess the way I look at it is, let me know what's there, and then I can decide as a father or just as a human if I want to listen to it or not. Employing somebody who clearly shows tendencies to be racist, misogynistic, homophobic is far different. I'm not mad at anyone who says, hey, I don't like that kind of music. I find it offensive. God bless you.
By the way, it's the age-old argument that NWA had and Ice-T had, where, the government went after them, for different songs. I can't say the names of the songs here, obviously. Went after them for the content of their music. And their defense, which was a good one, was, I'm a performer.
Right.
Right? I'm performing. Much like an actor on TV is performing. So are you standing outside the actor's home or trailer saying you're the scum of the earth because the character you play, is a racist? Much like my performance, the content is racially motivated or sexist motivated. That's my performance. And you got to be protected in your ability to do that.
It's really different to equate a performance and employing a guy who's now going to lead a football team. It's just so different that when you try to bring them together and say, well, what about this? What about that? It's completely different. If you have a problem with the decision of who's performing halftime of the Super Bowl, I got a great idea. Don't watch it. It's so simple. Don't buy the CD. I know that's an outdated thing. Don't download the music. That's it. You don't have to like it. No one's forcing you to like it. Then don't consume it. You don't have to.
Here's Ray in New Fairfield, Connecticut. Ray, what's good, buddy?
Hey, let me take it off speaker. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. A little upset or disappointed, I should say, that Jon Gruden's been down again. But with the last couple teams he's been coaching, he has always tried to keep his special teams coach, Richie Bisaccia, with him. And although people aren't happy that Gruden is gone, I come up from a town in New Fairfield, Connecticut, where I grew up with Richie Bisaccia and his family. And although, like I said, some people aren't happy about Gruden, all of Richie's friends and family, we look at this as an opportunity for this man. And he was such a good football player throughout our high school days.
Yeah.
And a lot of problems like New Fairfield.
So what are you saying? You feel terrible because your relationship or connection to Jon Gruden was nothing but positive, yeah?
Yeah, I was never a big fan, but
I got you. Well, listen, that's you're entitled to have that perspective. Like I said to Evan off the air, there are going to be people in Jon Gruden's life that adore him, that think he's a great guy, that don't know him as a racist, don't know him as a homophobe or a misogynist or a sexist or any of that stuff. There will be people that will rally around him who love him, and that's okay too.
The interim head coach, who I didn't know that much about, but he is a New Yorker, he's a Yonkers guy, has a long history of coaching. He's over 60 years old, coached with Jon Gruden in Tampa, so he's kind of a Gruden guy in a way. So it's fascinating that he's the guy given the opportunity. And I'm sure a lot of the experience is probably the reason why. He's coached for many years. So I think they probably view him as, hey, if there's someone who can keep the ship steady, he's the guy. But I didn't even realize it until he brought it up. He's a New York guy. He's a Yonkers guy. So then after all those years of coaching, for many years as a special teams coach, he's getting his crack. I mean, think about this. What if the Raiders surprise us and they win the division? All of a sudden, Richie Bisaccia becomes, I don't know, legitimate head coach in this league. So it is a pretty big opportunity for him.
No, it's huge. Listen, there's still a very good football team talent-wise.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Above average.
They're okay. They're like an 8-win team, right?
Well, if Carr's hurt there, they may not win.
Well, no, I'm not even equating that. That's not fair because it's like the Giants without Daniel Jones and Saquon. Even as a healthy team, what are they, the third best team in that division?
They do play in a tough division.
That's the part of it, man. And Justin Herbert, oh, my God.
Stud.
Hey, Dolphin fans, you passed on him for Tua.
Yeah, I love that. That's our Dan Marino right there.
You passed on him for Tua.
They had a chance to get the guy. Well, they got Deshaun Watson, so.
Oh, stop.
They will wind up with the guy.
Why do you have to ruin my moment right now?
Because I know that Deshaun Watson's going to the Dolphins any day now.
Oh, God.
And there will be a day when I come in all smiles, and you're going to say, I don't even know what you're going to say to me when that happens. It's going to be a weird day for us.
What am I going to say?
Because it took so long, but I'm still going to gloat. Yeah,
but you don't like the Dolphins. Why would you even gloat over their success?
Because, as we said before, sometimes it's just nice to be right.
Yeah, but don't you want to be wrong and happy?
No, like, I wish, and you're not going to believe this, it took everything in my power last Tuesday not to pick the Red Sox to beat the Yankees. All day long, I wanted to.
What?
All day long.
You were such... You were so
all day long,
full of it.
I wanted to pick the Red Sox.
Yeah, but you didn't because it's New York.
No, I want to be clear. I picked the Yankees. Yes. I sit on that. I own it. Like everyone else, I picked the Yankees.
Why did you?
But all day long, because I got caught up in that stupid hat. That's why if you look at the Von Rohr Equipment Corporation blame poll today, the hat's still at the top of it.
You're sitting here a week later saying, you know what, guys? I really did want to pick the Red Sox. You're the worst.
I was dying to do it.
You are the worst.
For a lot of reasons.
Why? Give me 3 reasons.
All right. Reason number 1, I didn't think the Yankees could win 4 consecutive games at Fenway. All with playoff implications. I didn't see that coming.
Okay.
I didn't. Reason number 2, I had no faith at all in Garrett Cole, which is why his name is still on the blame poll.
Then why did you...
Brought to you by Von Rohr.
Then why didn't you have the guts to open your mouth on Tuesday
I'm so mad
and
at
say,
myself.
look, Yankee fans, I love you. I'm a Yankee fan. Like, how many times do I come on the radio and predict bad things for my team?
Why.
You call it Robertsitis.
I know.
I call it being real.
I couldn't do it.
Why?
Because people were looking at me to help them, to get the Yankees through it. And I got caught up in it like it was a drug.
And you know what?
I was dying to pick the Red Sox.
If you picked the Red Sox, you would have come in Wednesday in the ultimate win-win situation.
No, people would have been so mad at me.
Why? You were right.
No, but that's where being right's being wrong, because if I was right, I would have been blamed for it.
Would you have?
Great job, Carton. Way to pick the Red Sox.
You were just telling it like it is.
Yeah, I'm so mad at myself.
We are so different. When it comes to my teams, I would lean towards the bad stuff happening. I said it today. The Nets are not winning an NBA title. I'm sorry, fellow Net fans. You could just feel it deep down. And don't break down basketball. It's a gut. It's a feeling that we will not have the ultimate good thing. See, I said it. And if I'm wrong, dude, I'll still be naked at the parade and I won't give a damn. So be free.
But that's like your MO, though.
Is it, though?
Yeah, the Robertsitis thing.
Am I right, though?
My team can't win because then when they win, woo.
When have they won?
Like you said, you wager against your team to hedge things.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I get it, but I don't get it. Trust me, I've lived with this for a week now.
I understand. You should have just had the guts. You even said a few days later that no one on WFAN, we were all spineless, I think is what you said.
You guys everybody is spineless.
No, you're the ultimate spineless because you genuinely thought the Red Sox were going to win and didn't say it.
I swear to you, I did.
I'll raise my hand, Yankee fans. I thought you were going to win. I did. And I was wrong. And I can own that. You, on the other hand, you're the worst. You're the worst. Because you had a good baseball opinion, gave fine reasons on why the Red Sox would win, and you were gutless. You turned the mic on and said, I need to have a pep rally. I can't be honest. You weren't honest with the people, you gutless SOB.
I waited till the last hour to make the prediction because I struggled with it all day long. I did. I'm so upset with myself, too.
So am I.
I'm really down on myself.
I am, too.
Because that would have been epic had I picked the Red
The
Sox.
one guy on the radio station, Mr. Yankee fan, Craig Carton, has an honest conversation with us. He says, look, I'm sorry, guys. You guys are going to lose tonight. You turn out to be right, and then on Wednesday, Yankee fans are still crying, but you can say, I'm sorry. I tried to warn you.
Now, to be fair, I only told a single person, so I can't back up this story.
Who'd you tell?
You're not going to like who I told.
Who'd you tell?
I told Aaron Boone.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
What? When?
Before the game.
You texted Aaron Boone before the game you're going to lose?
I didn't say it.
How'd you phrase it?
I didn't say it.
How?
I didn't say it in those exact words.
How did you phrase it?
Going to be a tough night.
Boy, you really deserve blame for this. You screwed the whole
Yankee
thing
fans
up.
like myself. It's going to be a tough night.
You put negative vibes in. What did he give you, a fist bump back?
He didn't respond.
No kidding. He didn't
Going to be a tough night. That's what
You texted the manager of the Yankees right before the wild card game. Yeah. It's going to be a tough. What are you doing over there? Oh, Craig put his name up on the blame poll, sponsored by Von Rohr. Good job.
Yeah, I did.
You deserve it.
I texted him today, too.
And saying what?
San Diego's nice this time of year.
What did he say to that? What did he say to that?
I really did. And just, I want to prove this. Just so you don't think I'm like BSing you.
No, I don't think you are.
All right, hold on.
You texted Boone San Diego's nice this time of year.
Okay.
That Tatis is a hell of an athlete.
What did I write? The bottom blue one.
I hear San Diego. He responded. Can I tell the people what he responded
to me?
Well,
it's a private text. No, you can't.
I can't say what he responded?
No, it's a private text.
All I'll say is there were no words.
I'll just tell you I did it.
There was an emoji. That's all I'll say.
I hear San Diego's nice this time of year.
You did write that.
I did. Because I'm very close with Aaron Boone. That's my man right there.
So what's going to happen?
You know, Aaron Boone and his wife adopted 2 kids from Haiti?
I am aware of that, yeah.
How about that?
What other things are you going to tell us about Aaron Boone that we're aware of?
Many people didn't know that.
Did you know his father used to manage in the major leagues?
No way. Come on.
Do you know
really?
Do you know his brother probably did something and hit a lot of home runs?
Do you know that
I shouldn't say it that way.
His father also was one of those COVID holdouts?
Yes, I heard about that.
And actually for the Nationals, I think.
They lost his job because of it.
Yeah, that's right. Or suspended or something. So he's like Kyrie.
I mean,
how about that?
Sure, if you want to say that.
How about that?
Do you know his grandfather also played in the major leagues?
Whose grandfather? Kyrie's?
Aaron Boone.
No way. No, of course I know these things, yes.
Do you know that he had a big home run to end the 2003 AL?
His father or grandfather?
Aaron.
Real quick, Lou's in Portchester. Louis Bones, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Craig. Evan, come on, Evan. You know, Craig makes a great analogy, and then the way you try to cut it down, I mean, that's humorous. They call it hip-hop culture, Craig. They're not characters. These guys don't fancy themselves performance artists playing characters. Many of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but many of them feel that they're personifying and they're living that life. Why do you think there's so many guys that get gunned down in that field in the rap world? So these guys are
some
you
of
know,
them live
they're
it. You're
owning,
right. No, there's some. You're right.
They're owning those words, those lyrics, and for you to separate it and say that something in private, you know, is
so you don't
worse
think they should perform the halftime show? Is that what you're saying?
Listen. I agree with Carton's analogy that it is hypocrisy to no end.
Guess what? Craig doesn't agree with you. Did you hear the rest of his sentence?
No,
he doesn't agree with you.
I think they are hypocritical. I understand some artists legitimately view it as an art and they're actors and they're playing a role, like Vanilla Ice.
Some of them.
Right? I get that. There are some people like that. But what my point was, and thank you, Lou, I think the NFL is always hypocritical about these things. And you know, what's interesting is that some guys, it is their lifestyle. Like a friend of mine just sent me an example. Just an extreme example. I want to be clear about that. Right. And I can barely even read it. There's a song by Dr. Trey called Bitches Ain't Bleep.
Right.
That's the name of the song. All right? Bitches ain't bleep, but hoes and tricks. I can't legally read the next line of the song.
Right.
So the question is, and again, to be clear, the NFL didn't fire Jon Gruden. The NFL did obviously suspend Washington $10 million for the sexual harassment workplace stuff, right? But the NFL did come out and talk about their wholesome values on Friday when the Gruden stuff first came out. That's where they lose me. And I'm not picking anyone particular.
I'm trying to keep up with what you guys are all saying.
They're saying the NFL can't claim to care about misogynistic viewpoints of its member clubs when they have a halftime show with lyrics that bitches ain't bleep but hoes and tricks.
One thing is music. It's entertainment. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Football's entertainment, isn't it?
So don't watch it if you don't like it.
Well,
isn't that what people get to decide to do?
That's an easy.
Do you think so? It's not an easy out. It's the truth. Because here's the problem. It's part of our societal problems that happen with all sides. You get offended by something, and you want it taken away. When you could just be a grown-up and take it away yourself. You don't have to whine and bitch and complain. It's a part of the whole cancel culture. I'm offended by this. Get rid of it. There's a difference between a guy leading a football team. The owner of a team has to make a decision. Do I want this guy leading my team? I'm not hiring Snoop Dogg to run my football team. I'm hiring halftime entertainment.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make it, maybe not you necessarily. I don't want to put this on you.
That's good.
You're trying to say it's the same thing. Like, well, if you're bothered by this, you should be bothered by that. It's not the same thing. A guy running my football team is different than someone who's performing music at halftime.
Yes,
it's not a
but I would
defense
say
of
this.
the words. It's just, it's entertainment. And if you're so offended by it, don't watch it.
Well, that's a cop-out.
It's not a cop-out. It's the reality. If more people had that attitude, we wouldn't be trying to cancel everything.
Well, the cancel culture is a separate thing to me.
No, it's not, though.
I hear what you're saying.
You
but
think it
it's
is,
the
but
thing.
everything's connected.
If you are, if sexual equality is important to you as in your core, either you individually or the company that you oversee. If women's rights in the workplace and all, safe work environment. If those things are truly important to you, and it's a standard bearer of how you want to operate your business or your company or you as an individual, then you would never. There are certain guys you would not bring in to sing because of what their lyrics are.
But there's a difference between hiring practices and fairness as opposed to entertainment and music.
There's also a built-in convenience of, it's convenient for me here, it's not convenient for me there.
But this
time it works, that time it doesn't work.
Completely different.
I'm just saying,
that's where I guess I just fundamentally disagree with it, but it's fine.
You meaning whomever in general, have a lot more credibility when you're consistent with anything, right?
And you know what's funny? I don't think, just for the record, the NFL is consistent. I think they are hypocritical in a lot of ways. I just don't think when it comes to the words used in music and comparing it to the words used by a coach, even though it was private, I just don't think they're that comparable. And I think sometimes we try to compare everything. And I just don't think this works.
Either you're bothered by words or you're not bothered by words. Right?
No, there's a difference. I can't.
Not really.
Yeah, of course there is. One is music. Are you offended by the bad words used in music?
I'm personally not offended.
Okay, you're not. Good for
I
the
happen
record.
to love Dr. Dre and Eminem.
Do you think
and Snoop Dogg and Mary J. Blige?
Okay. Would you have fired Jon Gruden?
Jon Gruden? Would I have fired Jon Gruden? If I was the Raiders, yes.
Okay, so then are you not a hypocrite?
I'm not a hypocrite.
Why? You just said you love the music. It's great.
Yep.
But now you're firing the coach. You're with me with what I'm saying then.
Well, I have a different responsibility as the owner. Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, then that's all I'm saying.
Listen.
Should Jon Gruden have lost his job, Craig?
I struggle with it, to be honest.
You said earlier in the show he clearly deserved to lose his job.
Yes, Jon Gruden should be fired, yes.
Do you like the NFL's decision on the halftime shows?
Hang on. Here's my problem with it.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, but here's my problem with it. It's not that simple, where I can make a decision. I might like listening to that music, right? In the comfort of my home, my car, in my backyard, whatever it is, right? But I recognize that music is offensive in its content. Therefore, I'm not having them sing the halftime show at my games.
Okay.
I can do both.
So then you're 100% right. So let me walk this back this way then. You are running the NFL.
Yes.
Who would you have hired to do the halftime show? Would you not have made the decision that they made?
And I want to acknowledge, I'm a fan of their music. But if I'm running the NFL, I would not have hired them to do the halftime show.
That's fair, fine.
Yes.
Who would you have hired?
U2.
Okay. U2 did 2001, didn't they?
What's that?
Didn't they do it right after 2001?
Oh, they did it right around there.
I think they did it because it was right after 9/11. That's fine. I guess that's what I'm getting at, though. If you're okay with them making this decision musically and you agree Jon Gruden should be fired, isn't that hypocritical? I'm just trying to...
No, because
that's why I asked our last caller, would you not have hired those musicians?
I have to also divide my personal life and my job.
Right.
So like I said, I enjoy the music. But as the owner of the NFL, the Vegas Raiders, or whoever else, I also have to recognize, the bit of a public trust part of it, too, that their music is offensive.
Yeah, I guess when it comes to comedy or music, this is just me, and I think you actually agree with me on this, nothing really offends me. Personally.
I want to be clear.
Not offended by it.
I'm not offended by any of it when it comes to comedy or music.
So we are lockstep, 100%. Now, I understand as a parent, you may say, hey, I don't want my kid to hear that. Totally get it. I'm learning that because I've got kids. With that said, when a guy, even if it's revealed in a bad way, if you want to call it that, because emails are leaked, when a guy reveals himself as racist, misogynistic, and homophobic, I think most of us would agree we probably shouldn't employ that guy.
Can't represent my company.
Right. So where is the real hypocrisy?
The hypocrisy
Because I think it's so different.
The NFL's not saying we enjoy it in our private time, the certain music, right?
I guess I'm looking at it as me and you.
The NFL's saying we need to get rid of misogynistic, sexist language. Halftime show, bitches and hoes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. No,
that's the disingenuous part of it.
No, I get what you're saying.
You brought this up a couple hours ago.
I guess I'm just looking at myself and how I view these things and how things can be separated.
Here's the other thing you brought up 2 hours ago.
Go ahead.
The disingenuous part. The Gruden emails get revealed and leaked. The 600,000 other emails involving an investigation that the NFL found enough evidence that warranted a $10 million fine did not get leaked.
That's my issue with the, of course, because my issues with the NFL aren't what they decide to do with their halftime show. My issues with the NFL is, you asked me earlier, they're hypocritical. They're hypocritical when it comes to player safety and games played. They are a bunch of walking hypocrites. Yep. They've exposed that with this 17th and soon-to-be 18th game. The NFL is filled with hypocrites. Number two, this comes out about Jon Gruden, completely fireable. What about everything you found out about the Washington football team? Where's the evidence of that? You gave us no evidence, anything that came out in July when you fined them $10 million. Hypocritical NFL.
Yep.
So if the argument is the NFL hypocritical? I am 100% with you.
Yes.
I just think this battle of I'm offended by the lyrics are bad, and I'm going to equate that to a head coach that clearly is racist, homophobic, misogynistic. I'm running out of things.
There you go.
It's not the same. That's where you lose me.
Okay, well, try not to define it as the same. And
you guys are trying to.
We're not. We're saying.
Well, not you. Again, it's not.
I got you. I think what the voices are saying on it is you can't claim to care about, women's rights, sexism, misogynistic crap, all that stuff on one hand, and on the other hand, professionally speaking, endorse the language that goes entirely against what you just said you find problematic and objectionable.
By the way,
you can't say we want women to feel safe when they work for the NFL, or hell, go to our games, and then at halftime have a guy out there going, where's all the bitches and hoes?
By the way,
you can't do that.
Serious question about this, because I don't know or remember.
Yeah.
They're not going to let them say that during the halftime show, right? Aren't lyrics going to be edited during that halftime show?
My consigliere on this, I didn't see him to right now, Al Dukes is on the line, and Al Dukes has a real problem with Evan Roberts. What's up, Al?
Al, you got an issue with me?
Evan is so frustrating. I almost quit Twitter today because my responses are all mini Evans. Stop, Evan.
What did I do? Wait a second, Al. You can't blame me for your Twitter mentions.
Mr. Honest does characters. That's essentially what you're saying. How about this, Evan? Andrew Dice Clay's going to come out at halftime and do nursery rhymes. We cool with that? Because he's doing a character and has nothing to do with
anything. I'm not offended by comedy or music,
Well, you don't have to be offended by it, and it still not work in a family atmosphere on the NFL's biggest stage, which is the Super Bowl halftime show. That is their biggest stage that they have.
Right.
And they're promoting. Are they going to do bitches ain't blank? No, Evan, they're not. But that is in their catalog of things. No one wants Snoop Dogg canceled as a musician. Nobody wants Dr. Dre music pulled from Spotify. It doesn't go with the NFL's family values, just like Andrew Dice Clay coming on and doing his nursery rhymes. Will you be offended? No. Okay, great. But it doesn't go along with the NFL. We're the greatest family-friendly thing in the world. It doesn't work that way.
I'll tell you a quick fire. I agree with Al on that. I thought he put it more succinctly than I did.
Al actually did a great job. It's very fair, bro. But again, don't blame me for your Twitter mentions, okay?
Well, because they all are saying the same thing you're saying.
Well, it's just my opinion, man.
Right. No, but it's a family. Like the NFL preaches out there a family safe, family fun, family value organization. They're not.
Alan Craig, here's where I guess I struggle with it. When I hear equating it specifically to Jon Gruden, that's where I get. No, that's what. Well, first of all, that's what the caller we took said, and that's how Greg brought up the subject. And I just have a tough time taking musicians and the words they use and saying, well, what about Jon Gruden? Like, they're not the same at all. And that's where this discussion began, and that's where I didn't understand the connection. Does that make sense?
Right. they're two separate things.
Thank
What we're looking at is the NFL as a family-friendly, women-friendly, African-American.
Totally makes sense. No, I get what, Al, I totally get what you're saying. I get it.
Al like this story, so I'll back this up. I don't know why this fits. I think in my head it fits, though.
Go ahead.
So we had Dice Clay in studio. Now, people know they listen to the show at all that I used to have my son Anthony, when he was like 3 years old, do Dice rhymes, and we would edit it together. So Anthony would do things like this.
Hey, it's a bull, bitch.
Okay, because I thought it'd be funny to do to Dice Clay.
Right.
So he comes in, and I'm playing all these things of like 3-year-old Anthony doing Dice Clay bits. And we're all laughing. It's hysterical, okay? And he looks at me and he goes, "That's not funny." He goes, "That's bad parenting."
That's actually funny.
You remember that, Al?
I do remember that. And Dice Clay now is, when you look at him, he's a joke. Snoop Dogg does stuff with Martha Stewart. Ice Cube is in Disney movies. It's all a joke now.
Well,
but
can I ask you a question about this, Al, then? Do you have a bigger issue with the NFL deciding to book these acts at halftime, or the NFL going around saying, hey, we're family friendly, we're this, we're that? Which is the part that bothers you then?
The fact that they don't go together. There's a reason why the NFL puts safe classic rock guys in every halftime show after the Janet Jackson situation. They wanted to stay away from controversy, right? So I knew putting Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty and all these safe guys up there works. It's family friendly. Now you're putting guys up there who have used all of the terms that the NFL doesn't like and society doesn't like, and they're putting them all up there on their biggest stage, where the morning after the Super Bowl halftime show, streams of those artists go through the roof. They make a ton of money from selling their music, and which is, again, I don't have a problem with them being musical artists. It doesn't go with the NFL.
All right, good job, buddy. Glad we woke up from your midday nap. Yep.
It also doesn't go with Disney hiring these guys to be caricatures of themselves in the movies. It doesn't go with the Disney product. But yet we'll be, hilarious. Ice Cube, the daddy daycare. Okay, great.
Right. Yep, you're right. It's all hypocritical, no doubt about it. It's always good hearing from you, Al.
Yes, you guys as well.
There you go. Al Dukes, all right.
You know what ended up happening in this whole discussion? It started in one place and went completely to a different location.
There you go. Sometimes you have to talk it through so you understand the point of view on it.
Because I get what Al said totally makes sense.
We're ultimately agreeing with each other on everything.
Yeah,
they're not the same, but the NFL can't preach itself to be this and then do that.
Yeah, that part makes sense. I think when it starts with Jon Gruden losing his job, and what about the halftime show? It comes across as like, what? What does that mean? Jon Gruden, in my opinion, I think you agree, clearly deserved to lose his job. What does that have to do with the halftime show? But I give Al credit because I think the way you define that at the end, hey, it's not consistent. I think sometimes a lot of companies do that. I don't know if Loogie would agree with me on this, the WWE does that. They preach family friendly a lot too, and then there are certain things in their angles that are not family friendly. So in one breath, hey, we're reaching out to kids. Hey, we're this, we're that. But then there are certain storylines where you're like, wait a second, that ain't that family friendly. So I do think that happens a lot where there's a lack of consistency in terms of what you're preaching. I just think the Gruden thing specifically, I don't see how that would compare to what you're booking for your halftime show.
877-337-6666. Overdue. We got to take a quick break. We will get back to you in a second. Your calls, the latest on the Kyrie situation. It's now full-fledged. Kyrie Irving banned from the NBA until he decides to get a shot. Then he's good to go.
I'm glad you're enjoying this, by the way. I'm glad this makes you laugh. I can't wait to smoke your team 4 times.
Grub to the hub. Wait a minute. Grubhub. I love me some Grubhub. I got it right. Did I pin it to the blame poll? Hold on a second. If you just read it, if you got it. Is that the Grubhub?
He totally pinned it to the blame poll.
I apologize to Grubhub. Good call, Thomas.
Grubhub. Grubhub, we do not blame you. We blame the other side of this, which says Craig.
We love the Grubhub.
Grubhub loves restaurants, from the food to the passion and determination of the people behind them. They know that a restaurant's reputation matters. Good food deserves good service, delivered fast, fresh, and exactly how restaurants intended it to be. Restaurants work hard to serve their customers, and Grubhub works hard to serve them. That's why Grubhub is introducing the Grubhub Guarantee. Grubhub guarantees your food will get to you on time, within the delivery window, and for the lowest prices compared to other apps. Or they'll get back at least $5 in perks. Order now through the Grubhub app or online. Grub what you love. Football season.
Carton Roberts is presented by Grubhub. Grubhub guarantees your food will get to you on time within the delivery window and for the lowest price compared to other apps, or you'll get at least $5 in perks. Grubhub works hard to serve restaurants.
Dan Wilbur tweeted, got an email from Untuckit. Dude, every shirt's an Untuckit shirt right now. Mr. Wilbur, I just don't know if that's true. Every man deserves to wear a perfectly fitted Untuckit that falls at just the right length. However, due to production limitations, we can't make enough Untuckit shirts for every man on Earth. Lots of men are still wearing poorly fitted traditional shirts. Keeps me up at night. Find your shirt today at untuckit.com.
First, there was Vegas, then Atlantic City. Now, your pocket. DraftKings has an online casino where you can play your favorite games whenever and wherever you want. Slots, blackjack, live dealer games, and more. New casino players can get a deposit bonus up to $2,000 plus free casino credits. Download the app or visit us online. Try DraftKings Casino today with our exclusive offer and experience the casino floor like never before.
There's got to be a better way. At Good To Go Insurance, you can get coverage with as little as $20 down, despite your driving record. Get an online quote for a low monthly payment in less than a minute. Save money by only paying for the coverage you need and get proof of insurance on the spot. Visit goodtogo.com and get coverage fast, cheap, and easy. That's goodtogo.com.
I'm the boss. You haven't changed at all. You're still a big baby. Suck it, Ted. You suck it.
Excuse me, why don't you both suck it? I'm in the family business. And now you work for me, boomers.
You want me to be a baby again? What a frittata.
I'm sending you undercover.
Is this some kind of a ninja boy band? Huh.
The Boss Baby Family Business.
All the best in Halloween. Yeah, you got it.
This is gonna be lit.
All the hits.
If you want to get crazy, we can get crazy.
All the chills.
There's something up there.
All the classics.
Red Rock, I'm Chucky.
All the. all the. And DirecTV lets you have it all whenever you want it.
Awesome.
It's good to have you back. DirecTV, this is how you Halloween. And why Play Ball, presented by Chick-fil-A, is back, looking to help local basketball leagues in need continue play, providing grants.
A lot of the students are going to be excited when they see the uniform that we could purchase with our money.
Clinics.
They teach us things that we've never been taught before, and then at the same time, it's fun.
Equipment donations and special Harlem Globetrotter experiences.
Kids were chomping at the bit to get into this particular event.
If you know a local basketball league in need, apply today at sny.tv/playball.
I found my perfect man, and I locked him down quick.
I just can't take my eyes off him. Most of all, I love that he wears bird dog shorts. They're all I buy for him. Normal shorts and underwear separate and ride up. But bird dogs have super soft built-in underwear, so you can just slide them right on. And you're ready to go.
Has your AC busted, computer crashed, appliance broken? Then you need ARW, American Residential Warranty.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty. Home appliance repairs and replacement can cause stress and cost you over $3,000 per year. But starting at less than $1 a day, ARW has home warranty plans that cover household appliances, systems, and electronics. Parts and labor included. When I needed ARW, they were there. My oven actually took a dive in the middle of making a big dinner for family and friends, picked up the phone, called ARW, they repaired it, dinner saved, that easy.
My air conditioning broke on a Sunday. It was so hot, I called ARW and they came out and fixed it right away.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, even pools and spas, and so much more. All you have to do is call or go to getahomeplan.com. Plus, ARW's partner with Assurant to offer protection for all your new and used household electronics for just one low price.
I dropped my laptop and ARW replaced it with a brand new one, and all I paid was a small service fee.
All plans are fully customizable and come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call now and get a home security system valued at $1,250 free with any plan. And you can trust ARW to be there when you need it. Just call ARW and a licensed technician will be dispatched to your home. All covered repairs are guaranteed.
My refrigerator broke, and not only did ARW repair it fast, they even sent me a reimbursement check for all the food that went bad.
So come on, relax. Stop worrying about unexpected breakdowns and costly repairs. Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
Call 1-800-253-0153. Again, that's 1-800-253-0153 or log on to getahomeplan.com today.
Did your job give you mesothelioma or lung cancer? If you had occupational asbestos exposure and now have mesothelioma or lung cancer, you may be entitled to claim some of the $30 billion in asbestos bankruptcy funds, even if you smoked. Call Whites and Luxembourg today. They are the New York law firm who's won the state's highest verdicts for your colleagues and neighbors in their asbestos cases.
Mesothelioma or lung cancer victims, call 800-299-5600. That's 800-299-5600.
The future depends on teachers. Every day, teachers are shaping our tomorrows, starting their students on journeys that will change the course of history.
Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher inspiring a future scientist who'll make preventing pandemics their life's work, sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who will help combat climate change,
and generating possibilities for a student who will become the first in their family to graduate college.
It all starts with teachers who meet challenges with creativity, who reinvent education for the future, who work towards a school system that lifts up every child, regardless of race, income, or zip code, and who enable the full potential of our students, our communities, and our country.
Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Shape the future. Teach.
9:56. Obviously, the Jon Gruden story, huge national ramifications. And then my cousin Brian just sent me this text regarding that exact story, Evan. And here it is. The NFLPA has petitioned the NFL to release all the emails.
Yeah, I was telling you about that earlier.
Now,
the PA wants everything released because the NFL was so secretive about what they found in the investigation of Washington.
I believe you can file a Freedom of Information Act request on behalf of a news body. That's not the NFLPA, of course, but there is no doubt that more of these emails will be released. Here's the downside to the NFL to releasing all of it. The NFL is going to have dirt on their hands.
Yes.
Because the NFL found enough in there that they fined Washington $10 million. As you said, they did it before July 4th weekend, hide it.
Right.
Because who's paying attention, right? And they never released what the damaging emails were. So
or what they specifically found in the investigation.
Yeah. The
it was
NFL
more...
doesn't want those emails released because it'll show that not that they were compliant with Washington or even endorse what happened with Washington, that they were aware of it.
Right.
And essentially,
well, it's also more information being out there doesn't make Washington or the NFL look good.
Plus, how about this? This reality, right? If you're worth $100,000 and I fine you 50 cents, you give me 2 quarters and you go on with your day.
Right.
If you're worth $9 billion and I fine your professional organization, not you personally, $10 million, you write that check and laugh about it.
Of course. That's why ultimately, what did this really do to Daniel Snyder?
Nothing.
Well, that's the point. That's why I get why the NFL Players Association and a lot of others are going to say, hey, you got 60,000 emails. You find Washington.
Sorry, 600.
600. Thank you. And it's
big
zero.
Difference, yeah.
600,000 emails. What'd you find?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they found something, obviously, because they find them.
And by the way, you know what's crazy about this? The NFL is so immune to this in that we'll rip them, we'll call them hypocrites, we'll find out information that's damaging. Head coach is a racist, he's fired. We all consume the NFL every Sunday, and nothing is going to change that. Nothing is going to change the bottom line that we consume the game for many, many reasons.
Right. Listen, if the Raiders, when's the Raiders' next nationally televised game?
I'd have to check.
I bet you the networks wish they had them this week.
They get a bigger rating.
Don't you think? Like if you're one of the main networks, I wish I had a Raider game.
Week 10 Sunday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Like, I tell you what, listen, they're coming here in a few weeks.
Yeah.
November 7th, which is our big, tailgate party at
There
Reds.
won't be a story by then, though. That's where I disagree with you. There's a story now, but in 3 weeks, they just have an interim head coach, and they're a mediocre team. They're not a story. Story dies. The franchise's story dies. They don't become a team people want to watch.
I don't know. Depends if they win, I guess, right? I mean, I guess Jon Gruden remains the story, not the Raiders.
And he's not there.
Right.
So I think this weekend you may be right, but after that, they're just a mediocre AFC team.
I can't wait for the Mark Davis press conference just so I can make Dumb and Dumber jokes.
You love that haircut, don't you?
His haircut is awesome. I saw an interview with him a few weeks prior to this, where he actually, who did it? I forget who it was. He actually claimed, I go to a barber for this. It's not my fault. I blow dry it. I gel it. This is just what it is. It was actually pretty self-deprecating.
By the way, speaking of which, it's time for you to shave the head.
Why not?
Enough stubble has grown back that we can clearly see the Carton balding.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's up to you. I'm as a friend, I'm looking out for you. Oh. It's very noticeable.
I can always
I can see exactly where your hair would end.
There you go.
Oh, you put the Boston Red Sox hat on?
I just rocked the new hat.
So you put a Red Sox hat on. The day after.
It's the first hat I could find.
The day after they stuck at the Yankee fans and in ways Met fans, which we could get into at some point, you put a Red Sox hat on.
There you go. Is that
interesting?
Better? Brooklyn Cyclone hat's on. Is that better?
First hat you put on was a Red Sox hat.
I do need to shave the dome, though, and the face. I have a big meeting tomorrow morning at 9:15.
Oh, nice. You leaving yet? Where you going? What's your new job?
No, I have a meeting tomorrow morning at 9:15 with CEO types. How are you? Oh, good to see you, Muffy.
Yeah, you better shave that head.
Oh, I got to shave everything.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah,
See,
it just shows you I really don't care. But now that you bring it up, I care.
Aren't you happy that I pointed that out for you?
Dude, listen, if you thought I was worried about that, would I have worn this?
That's a fair point. Look at me. Do you think I'm worried about it? Look at the way I dress.
Not. Here is Dan and Carteret. Dan, what's up?
Hey, Craig. Hey, Evan. I got a Gruden topic question for you, Craig, and then a Nets topic question for Evan.
Yep.
About an hour ago, you had a caller ask you, Craig, that if you had gotten emails from a coworker that had racist and homophobic and misogynistic remarks in it, would you go to the press and rat them out? And I agree with you that, no, you shouldn't go to the press and throw your coworker under the bus. But would you go to your bosses and let your bosses that this is what's going on with a coworker, you don't condone it, and you'd bring it to your boss's attention? And I'll elaborate why I'm asking you that after your answer.
No, I think it's a good question. Listen, having not been in that position, I'd like to say no. I think if someone I was close with at work was bothered by that person's behavior, I would stick up for a coworker that I had a relationship with if they felt a certain way because someone was, sexist, racist, misogynistic, whatever. So I would certainly back up a friend at work, yes. Would I run to human resources if Evan sent me a disgusting email?
Why do you have to use me as an
example? To do it? No, I would not.
Okay. The reason I asked is because when you were, you and Boomer, you killed, and I agree with the fact that you killed, but you killed Joe Paterno over the Jerry Sandusky incident, and because he didn't go to his superiors about it. And although Sandusky's crimes are way more serious than what Gruden did, Gruden didn't commit any crimes.
Here's the difference, Dan. I guess it's a fair question. Here's the difference. Joe Paterno was aware that his close friend and fellow coach was sodomizing, molesting boys.
Yeah, dude.
And did nothing about it.
Dude.
I'm aware that a guy I work with is a pig or a sexist or a racist. Is a lot different than me knowing that someone at work is sexually, doing things to young boys on campus. So sorry.
This is not, this one's easy. If someone I work with, if I know they're doing that, it wouldn't take me more than 2 seconds to have that crap reported.
Difference.
There is a monumental difference.
Yeah. And listen, I still hate Penn State because of it. And I know that no one there's got anything to do with what happened during Joe Paterno. And I do hope that Joe Paterno rots in hell. I do. And I hope Jerry Sandusky rots in hell. Because that's where they belong. That's where they should be. And others who do that as well. And it's so apples and oranges, it's comical. But I don't mind you bringing it up. I don't mind talking about it. So there you go. But Evan sending me an email.
Why are you using me as an example again? Can you use somebody else?
All right, if Al Dukes sends me an email.
There you go.
And the email's got objectionable content in it.
Right.
I speak to Al Dukes about it. Now, if I know that Al Dukes is negatively impacting Big Mac's work because of his views and the things he says, then we've got a real problem. If I know that Al Dukes is doing something physical to someone, then Al Dukes is going down.
Oh, no, quickly.
That's it.
Yeah. And I would hope most people would respond that way. That's not even a question. Physically?
That's the problem.
If you knew something like that was going on?
Most people keep their mouths shut.
I'd hope not.
That's a sad reality.
Craig, I said to you earlier, there are certain things I don't know how I would act in that way, to be fair. In this case, I know how I act.
You're in row 9 on a plane sitting on the aisle.
Yeah.
A guy from row 16 jumps up yelling and screaming and starts running to the cockpit. You've got a shot.
I hope I'm getting up to stop him. And that's how I'd phrase it. I really hope I would.
Remember that show?
Knowing what I know, I hope I would.
Was it 2020 that did that show, What Would You Do?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I remember it vaguely. I don't know if it was 2020, but I kind of remember it.
Yeah, I forget the news anchor guy.
Maybe I don't remember.
Like, you go to, a diner, and, you'd watch, someone mistreat someone, what would you do? Like, they show a guy, putting a roofie in a girl's drink, but it's so obvious, so you see it. Do you tell the girl? Do you say to the guy, what the F are you doing?
Yeah.
What would you do?
In a lot of cases, the answer is, I don't know.
John Quinones is the guy's name.
The specific you just gave me, I hope to God I hope. I can't say with certain that I would get up and try to stop
You
him.
finished it already.
What'd I do?
Can you go back to, I hope to God, and then...
I hope to God
that Craig was on that plane, too, because he would take care of everyone.
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Would you? Are you that confident?
Again...
You hope so.
You'd like to think
well,
that
that's
you
what
would.
I'm saying. It's the same answer. I hope to God that I would.
Most people wouldn't, though.
Maybe you're right. And you know what? I hope I'm never in that situation. And you hope you're never in that situation.
I don't want to be in any of these situations. I don't want a friend of mine or someone I know at work to send me racist, misogynistic, homophobic emails.
Yeah, I don't want that either.
So if any of you out there that have my email address, please do not send me any of that crap.
Fair.
All right?
Yeah, I'm with you. Me too. Don't send me that either.
I don't want to be putting
the
that
hell do
spot.
you want?
Yeah, but I do want to read the 600,000 emails that they have from the Red
No. Let me rephrase that for you because you're incorrect. You don't want to read the 600,000 emails. You want someone else to read the 600,000 emails and release the ones that are, it's like a report from Congress. You don't want to read the whole report from Congress about UFOs. You want the highlights. That's what you want.
Yeah, it's like supposedly these topless cheerleader photos were taken without the cheerleaders' knowledge.
Well, that's a major problem.
That is a bit of a problem.
And
that's
who took
like
who took those pictures?
I don't know.
Well, that person should be fired.
That's like, these creeps that have like the nanny cam set up, but the nanny doesn't know about it. You ever hear those stories?
Were you on some kind of adult website last night or something?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
No, but the thing I'm talking about?
Not really, no.
So, like, the wealthy family's got, a nanny. And unbeknownst to the nanny and the wife, the husband has, like, a camera where the nanny gets dressed.
Okay.
It was on Law and Order the other day. It just happened.
Or was it on some website you went on?
It was on SVU Law and Order.
Okay.
Which I watch every day now from 12 to 1. Sorry. Excuse me, from 11 to 12. Because Maury's on from 12 to 1.
Your choice of entertainment is great.
Yeah, I told you they changed the whole lineup on Channel 9. Ticks me off.
Can't believe it.
They used to go back-to-back Dateline ID, and now they go Dateline into SVU. I don't like the SVU. I cry every morning. It's just disgusting. Guys filming his nanny and getting dressed.
Why don't you watch something else?
And it's always like, we know the teddy bear has a camera in its eye. Like, come on, man. We know that clock doesn't tell time.
Why don't you start watching The View? See what they talk about every morning.
The View annoys me the way you annoy Al.
How do I annoy Al?
You annoy Al.
I annoy Al for one thing.
You were very frustrating, though.
Today or in general?
I think
well, maybe in general. That's fine.
Here's Joe in upstate New York. Joe, what's on your mind, buddy?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yep.
So I kind of want to ricochet off this Gruden thing. You'd really think the vetting process would be so intense or intrusive at this point that you wouldn't really let these kind of things slip by.
Well,
and
it's hard when they're private emails, though. If no one shares them, like the thought might have been, did anybody at ESPN know where they could have warned, I don't know, Mark Davis or someone? Hey, listen.
They probably weren't looking for it, Joe, to your point, but I think there are certain things that you're just not even going to find out during the vetting process.
Listen, here's the other reality. There's a lot of people that are confronted with, these types of people, homophobic jokes, sexist jokes, racist jokes, and they hear the jokes. They might even, smirk or, laugh, one-on-one and never say a word about it, and then years later something bad happens, and then they're like, oh, shoot, maybe I should have said something. Or maybe nothing bad happens at all. It's just a guy with a bad taste in humor at the workplace, right?
Right.
Because here's the deal. If Jon Gruden didn't take the Raider job, here's what today's story would have been, or last night's story would have been. ESPN's Jon Gruden fired for blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Because he only went to the Raiders because they offered him $100 million. He was making about $5 million, $6 million, I think, at ESPN at the time. If the Raiders didn't hire him and offer him that kind of money, Jon Gruden is still employed at ESPN. And this story, while ultimately the same, is now ESPN firing
they own that story.
Their highest paid employee.
That becomes their story a hell of a lot more than the way it was portrayed last night.
I also think they would have covered it differently.
Of course.
Right?
Well, how do you cover a story about yourself?
Right. Like ESPN.
How do you? Do you even cover it?
I think you'd have to. Like Jon Gruden.
Do you?
Jon Gruden at the time, I said, was the highest paid on-air person they had. He did the quarterback camp thing. He was their NFL insider. He was the guy. He was the star of ESPN, and there's no two ways about that. So if he did not take the Raider job, you have to imagine the genesis of these emails coming out still would have taken place. Washington was still under the gun by the NFL, right? So it stands to reason it was a matter of time that these emails came out and this story became a story. Could you imagine what that story, the coverage of this story would be if it was ESPN condones the behavior of Jon Gruden?
Well, do they even cover the story? Because I'm thinking back to Fox and CNN when they've had issues with their own talent. Did they cover the story? I don't know if they did.
I think when they have to.
The other network covers the story with glee, usually.
I think it'd be less of a story, yes, because he's not an NFL coach.
Right, it is less of a story.
Yes, I'll give you that. Definitely be less of a story.
What's his name? The governor's brother. Didn't he get in trouble for something recently? Chris Cuomo?
Something, yeah.
He got in trouble for something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there were accusations made about him.
Okay.
I know what it was. A senior producer, a woman, claims that I think he may have touched her buttocks at an event or something.
Now, perfect. Did CNN cover that story?
Probably not.
No, I have no idea. I don't watch CNN.
He's still working there.
Okay. Did they cover the story? Now, I bet you Fox covered the story.
I'm sure they did.
And when Fox has had their issues, did CNN cover the story or did Fox?
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily, my point to all of this is I'm not sure ESPN covers that
That's a
story.
good point. Like ESPN's, suspended one of its most popular talents of all time for sexual harassment early in his career.
Who?
I'm not saying the name.
Was it a story?
Well,
are you breaking news, or am I just not remembering it?
It only came out in that book that came out a few years ago.
Okay, so it wasn't known until well
I
after
knew
the
about
fact.
it.
Then why
Like-
wouldn't you say something?
What's
if it's in
that?
a book, you can tell me what it was.
Because I'm not.
Why?
That's
It was in a
not-
book. It was published.
Well, go read the book.
You're going to make me Google it.
I'm not going to make you Google it, but
No,
this
you are. You're
person
making me Google it.
is
Okay.
not even debatably one of ESPN's top talents of all time.
No, you're making me Google it.
And
ESPN
was sexually harassing an intern.
Suspends host. How do I Google
I'm not,
this?
dude, come on.
It's in a book, dude.
So
You're
read the book.
acting as if like this is unknown information.
No, I'm not.
Am I crazy?
I
would
told
never,
you it was in a book.
never ask you
Yeah.
for something no one knows. I'd say, all right, I respect he's not bringing it up. You're telling me it's been published.
Yeah.
Here's what you're doing, Craig, and I love you.
I didn't
You're
read it in
making
the book.
me
I
work.
just know the story.
You're saying, Evan, go Google it, find out for you. Or is that what you're essentially saying? Like, I'm going to find it at some point.
I'll tell you off air if you really want to know. I will tell you off air.
Okay, so you're making the audience Google
Only
it.
because it's been published. I will tell you. I think it's been published. I didn't read the book.
Whoa, okay. If it wasn't published,
I think
that's
it was
different.
published. I'm pretty sure it was published.
Let me see if I can find this now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was published. But you keep looking if you want.
I'm looking for it.
My point is that they didn't report it as a story. Like, we've suspended one of our own for sexually harassing a female intern.
I got Tony.
Please don't do that on air.
Don't do what? It's
Whatever
news
you're gonna
stories.
do.
I'm Googling something from Newsday. I have an article from Newsday. Is that
All right.
really horrible to say? It's a Newsday published article.
Is it behind a paper wall?
Let me click on it and find out.
Yeah.
No, I'm reading it. Neil Best wrote it. ESPN has suspended Tony Kornheiser for... they just blocked it as soon as I started reading it that you need to spend some kind of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Tony
That's not
Kornheiser
who I
was
was talking
suspended
about,
because
though.
of a comment he made about SportsCenter anchor Hannah Storm.
I
I remember that.
He commented on the dress she was wearing.
Yeah, I remember that. So is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh.
No,
So you're making me Google this for nothing now.
I'll tell you off air. See, that's the
Do you
problem.
not see
You're
what-
dying to know. Blood in the
I'm
water.
not dying to know. I'm annoyed that you're making me Google it as opposed to just saying
So
it.
I'm going to tell you off air. Don't Google it.
No, I want to Google it. I'm doing it for the
All right.
audience. There's people listening saying, come on.
Here's the deal. If you Google it, I'm not going to tell you.
What?
You're on your own to find out.
Well,
Do
I
you
thought
want
I
to know
found
or
it.
not know?
I thought I found it with Tony
It ain't
Kornheiser.
Tony Kornheiser. He commented on Hannah Storm's dress.
I remember that now, actually.
Yeah, there's a whole to-do, and he was, well, I don't know if he's suspended. Was he
He's suspended for 2 weeks, apologized about it. Yeah. I actually remember that when that happened.
All right, so there you go.
All right, so you're not telling me.
All right, listen, more of your calls for sure coming up, like this one. Here's Javier in Union City. Javier, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
How you doing,
Laughing with
Biggs?
you guys.
All right.
Listen, I just want to talk to you about Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
The best player in basketball? Sure.
Go ahead.
Yes. Listen, I'm a huge Nets fan, okay?
Yeah.
I'm from Jersey all my life. They're my team. Listen, Evan, he has to keep him out of the team I don't agree with you that you were saying earlier that it's okay for him to play half of the game.
Well, I said that, Javier, if the players are on board with that. And I understand that would have been very controversial, and a bunch of non-Net fans and some Net fans would have said that's ridiculous. My reasoning behind it is, hey, I'm trying to win a championship. If I have Kyrie for 38 games and then something changes, I have him ready for a postseason run. That's irrelevant now because the players, at least what the tea leaves I'm reading, Craig, the players weren't going to be good with that. So it's irrelevant. He can't play. And now it's about, do you wait this thing out or do you genuinely try to trade him?
Yeah.
I got to be honest, I lean towards waiting it out because I don't think the value in the trade market is going to be that much of a, I got to do it.
Hey, if you worked in IT at ESPN on your own time, would you be looking at people's emails?
Isn't there something illegal about that?
Is there? I don't know.
Yes.
Part of an investigation. An internal personal investigation.
Would I be looking at emails?
Like, hey, I'm just trying to make sure that nothing's untoward there. Like, Jon Gruden emails. But, like, would you be looking?
Am I? He's such a slippery slope. Am I allowed to look at them?
Yeah, you don't work there anymore.
It's a part of the investigation.
You're an IT guy. You have access to Jon Gruden's emails. It's what you do for a living. Do you do it?
I peruse a little bit.
And
I'm allowed, though, right?
And let's say you found something objectionable or even, like, embarrassing but not fireable or funny, let's say, about Big Mac or Tommy or me. Would you, like, release one or two of them?
Hold on a second. We went to a different place now.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at your emails?
Well, let's just say, John, you're an IT guy at ESPN.
I'm at WFAN now because I'm with Lukey, Big Mac, and you.
Let's just pretend we were all working at the same place.
Okay. So we're all at ESPN.
Whatever, yeah. Okay. And you're the IT guy.
Let's really try and pretend we all work together.
Okay.
Close my eyes and pretend real hard.
Okay, here's the deal, all right? And you found something that you know would be kind of embarrassing to one of the guys. Would you, accidentally expose it?
No.
Like, they can't get fired for it. Like,
no,
it's
that's exactly what I would do.
Big Mac in a tutu for Halloween
Here's exactly what I would do. I have an answer. I would not expose it, but I would I would go to a group chat that features Craig Carton, Tommy, Big Mac, and myself. And I would text out an image of the embarrassing email so all of us can make fun of it privately.
So you'd keep it in-house.
Oh, 100%
but
in-house.
you'd definitely bust balls with it.
Yeah, if I was legally able to find something embarrassing that Loogie emailed, I would remind him about it so that you can make fun of him and Big Mac can make fun of him too. Is that fair?
Listen, I'm with you.
Would you do the exact same thing?
I wouldn't do it.
You set it up as we're allowed to do it. Now you're saying I'm holier than thou.
We all know what you would do.
I wouldn't do it at all.
You'd leak it to the morning show, they'd release it, and then you'd get on them for getting on us, and it would be that's what we would do.
I'd leak it to the morning show.
Did you hear Rachel? You'd leak it to the morning show so that you can rip the morning show.
Yes.
What are you guys talking about?
How'd they get that?
Nobody makes fun of Big Mac but me.
I do say that. Your family. Only family can make fun of family. Once they make fun of your weight, I attack them. Because they got some balls talking about your size. I can. They can't. I agree. Although I do have a good prank for you to play on them.
Right? You have a good prank for me to play on them?
because I think they've taken a lot of shots at you, and I think you should get them back.
I'm in.
Yeah, all right. During the break.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't say it on air.
No, it's already done.
You've already done it?
It's going to be done in like 2 minutes. Done.
Nice.
And it's going to be great joy. Ha ha joy. Ha 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 joy. Good news for pumpkin lovers at Dunkin' this fall. There's a whole new spin on pumpkin to love at Dunkin' with some brand new ways to enjoy the flavor of the season. Try the new pumpkin cream cold brew. Smooth, bold cold brew topped with velvety pumpkin cream cold foam and cinnamon and nutmeg spices. Right, Evan? I know you like it.
Dude, this is the kind of year when I hear pumpkin, when I smell pumpkin, everything changes. That's why when you walk into a Dunkin' this time of year, it's a game changer. Dunkin' is the dream come true for pumpkin lovers. So you could try the new cold brew like Craig mentioned. You could try the delicious fall classic, that pumpkin spice signature latte. But the bottom line is this. You walk into Dunkin', you're all about the pumpkin. That's how they pumpkin at Dunkin'.
Carton Roberts on SNY is brought to you by Dunkin'. This fall, there's a whole new spin on pumpkin to love with the new Pumpkin Cream Cold Brew and Pumpkin Spice Signature Latte. America runs on Dunkin'.
Looking for name brand tires? Town Fair Tire has them all. Michelin, Goodyear, Bridgestone, Firestone, BF Goodrich, General, Uniroyal, Continental, and more. Every name brand tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody!
The latest baseball chatter.
You need to invest in free agents if you want to win quickly.
With the only opinions.
Don't be stupid and let this guy go.
You need.
They need both those guys and more.
On Baseball Night in New York, presented by Cadillac. Tonight at 6, only on SNY.
Dear America, I'm revving up to say I'll always go the extra mile for you. With the latest tech and all-wheel drive. Thank you for making me the best-selling car in America. Be well, Camry.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost service plan with tire rotations, oil changes, and more for 2 years or 25,000 miles. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, I'm Dr. Easterling from the New York City Health Department. I know some of you are still deciding whether to get the COVID-19 vaccine or not. I hear the concerns at community events, on social media, and even from my own family and friends. And I am hoping that in conversations with people you trust, that you are getting the information you need to make an informed decision. But I continue to be concerned about the high number of people who remain unvaccinated. And we know the reality that communities of color were disproportionately affected by COVID-19. Yet, we see some of the same disparities with who has gotten vaccinated. People of color continue to have some of the lowest vaccination rates, increasing the chances that our communities and our loved ones will be hospitalized or die. If you haven't gotten your vaccine, have a conversation with someone you trust so that we can stop being the most affected, but the least protected against COVID. Thank you.
SNY Play Ball, presented by Chick-fil-A, is back, looking to help local basketball leagues in need continue play, providing grants.
A lot of the students are going to be excited when they see the uniform that we could purchase with our money.
Clinics.
They teach us things that we've never been taught before, and then at the same time, it's fun.
Equipment donations and special Harlem Globetrotter experiences.
Kids were chomping at the bit to get into this particular event.
If you know a local basketball league in need, apply today at sny.tv/playball.
This is a fish, a clownfish actually. He lives in a reef like this, in an ocean like this. This ocean contains these currents. These currents help carry fishing boats like these. Fishing boats like these bring their catch to port. Their catch is loaded onto this truck and delivered to this restaurant. This restaurant serves dinner to this family. This family drives back to their home. Their home borders this forest. This forest surrounds this creek. This creek trickles into this river down to these mangroves. These mangroves buffer the coastline from this bay. This bay is a hunting ground for this shark. This shark swims out to this ocean. This ocean flows over this reef. This reef is home to this fish. This is a fish, a clownfish actually.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
Stay tuned to get a free pan from Gotham Steel.
Tired of food sticking to the pan? You try to scrape it, and then you scratch it. You may as well trash it. Not anymore. Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Gotham Steel. The best technology in non-stick cookware made with ceramic and super strong titanium. Stronger than ever before. It's literally like cooking on air. Everything slides right off. This pan makes cooking so easy. Check out this s'mores recipe. Start with chocolate chips, add sweetened condensed milk, marshmallows, and then bake. That's right, use Gotham Steel in the oven to up to 500 degrees. And then look, it slides right out. Delicious. And it's dishwasher safe. Watch, you'd never whisk eggs in a non-stick pan, right? Well, you can with my pan. Use metal and look, no scratches. No oil or butter, absolutely no sticking and no scratches. It's amazing. Look, burnt cheese is a frying pan disaster. Not with my pan, shredded Parmesan, right on the heat. And here's a secret. Shape a bowl for a unique way to serve party dips. Even fire won't damage Gotham Steel. Make steak fajita flambe with ease. No burnt stuck on mess. Just a clean pan and flawless food every time.
We want all of America to try this revolutionary pan. So here's an insane deal from Gotham Steel. Get your 9.5-inch Gotham Steel pan with titanium ceramic surface for just $19.99. Plus, you get your shipping absolutely free. But wait, call now and you can get a Gotham Steel single-serve egg pan absolutely free. It's perfect for making personalized eggs and delicious breakfast sandwiches in a flash. Yours free. Call now to get your Gotham Steel nonstick pan for just $19.99 and get a single-serve egg pan absolutely free. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-281-0107 or go to GothamSteel.com. Again, that's 1-800-281-0107 or order online at GothamSteel.com.
Did your job give you mesothelioma or lung cancer? If you had occupational asbestos exposure and now have mesothelioma or lung cancer, you may be entitled to claim some of the $30 billion in asbestos bankruptcy funds, even if you smoked. Call Whites and Luxembourg today. They are the New York law firm who's won the state's highest verdicts for your colleagues and neighbors in their asbestos cases.
Mesothelioma or lung cancer victims, call 800-299-5600. That's 800-299-5600.
Sure, you'll teach her to drive a car. Then use Greenlight and teach her to save up for her own car. Mowing lawns and getting paid. Navigate the world of earning, saving, and investing together. Invest in your best investment. Greenlight.
How this could even happen.
80 degrees. I'm moving somewhere really cold. Is there anywhere really cold left?
Norway.
There's got to be a better way. At Good To Go Insurance, you can get coverage with as little as $20 down, despite your driving record. Get an online quote for a low monthly payment in less than a minute. Save money by only paying for the coverage you need and get proof of insurance on the spot. Visit goodtogo.com and get coverage fast, cheap, and easy. That's goodtogo.com.
I gained 53 pounds.
Did she say gain weight?
I gained 53 pounds.